Hey guys, first regardsman here, and I'll be talking about a heavy bolter build for the heavy class in Space Marine 2 patch 12.1. Now, the heavy bolter we'll be using today is the firepower relic tier variant. This is actually the most damaging version in the entire game for this gun, and the heroic version may have a fencing parry window that makes it better for survivability, but as far as damage is concerned, this is simply king. Now, the perk tree here is a little bit risky, I'm not going to lie, I'll explain why in a second. But first up, we take Fast Venting, weapons cool 15% faster, moving here into the perk Perfect Cooling. After a perfectly timed dodge, the equipped weapon is completely cooled. Now, the venting speed on this one really is not too bad, but this perk can definitely help out sometimes. The next perk here is Increased Capacity for 20% more ammo reserves on this weapon. Then I skip over the perk here, Heavy Immunity. While in heavy stance, you do not lose control from heavy hits. Now, normally I would always take this perk, but on this build, I am taking the perk over here, Strategic Stand, instead, which does give us the exact same effect on top of more CHP recovery in our heavy stance while we're dealing damage, so pretty good all around for us, which does open up an extra perk point to pick up a little bit more damage later. Next perk here is Headhunter for headshots dealing 10% more damage. Then I pick up the perk here, Adamant Hunter. When your health is below 30%, headshots will deal 25% more damage. When this perk is active, your heavy bolter's damage goes through the roof. Now, unfortunately, on this build, if you do get this low, you are very much in danger, which is why I said it's a bit risky to use. If you want to pick up Fortitude, you can definitely do that. That will make this perk way better, mainly because being below 30% HP with a 30% HP increase to your base HP makes this value not really that dangerous at all by comparison, though we are taking Strategic Stand, so just be a little careful on this one. Next perk here is Heavy Precision, up here into Heavy Might and Heavy Might for a total of a 30% damage increase in heavy stance. Then I pick up the perk here, Discipline. When you have low ammo, you deal 25% more damage. The way that ammo regen works on the heavy bolter for like really any heavy weapon in the game actually is that when you have auxiliary reload, you will get ammunition on a drip feed, so usually you are around a low ammo value, which means this is up pretty damn often, and it's a really substantial damage increase. Next perk here is Fast Venting, moving here to the perk Perpetual Cooling, and the final perk is Divine Might, and that's pretty much all there is for this tree. Now, if you do want to skip over like Divine Might or even Perpetual Cooling here, you could pick up Heavy Immunity and like Increased Capacity. That is up to you. The damage will still be pretty good, but today I'm going for full damage, so I'm building it this way. Now for the secondary weapon, I do take the Inferno pistol. They actually buffed up the gun strike damage for this gun by like 22% this patch. It feels way better now. My biggest issue with this gun was always the fact that the gun strikes felt like a confetti cannon, and now that's finally fixed. Now, the variant I choose here is the ammo reserve option, just because I just prefer having a better ammo economy on this thing, though you could take the rate of fire version, but when you are out of ammo, having like a secondary option just does not run out is pretty good. Now, for the perk tree here, I do build it the same like I usually do, which is Perpetual Range first into the perk here, Brace Reload, then we grab Perpetual Range again for even more range, up into the perk Great Might, Increased Capacity, Adamant Restoration, which is one of the best ammo economy perks in the entire game, into the perk Extra Shot and Trick Shot for armor restore and a 30-second cooldown for killing 5 enemies with one shot. This is pretty easy to pull off against Hormagaunts, definitely a bit harder versus Zangors, but against Cultists it works automatically because you know they have no HP pretty much. But for the most part, I'd say this one is still a top tier option, and a 30-second cooldown on armor on your secondary is very strong. Now, alternatively, you could pick up the Rate of Fire Plasma Pistol. I would build it like this, and the Heavy Bolt Pistol, I would probably set up something like this, where you down the bottom tree if you Divine Might, Perpetual Penetration, Increased Capacity, Extended Magazine, Death Strike, Great Might, Discipline, into the perk here Strong Finish, Headhunter, Gunstrike Reload, and Tactical Precision. I do think this is like the best option for the heavy class, though alternatively you could pick up Able Damage, because Able Damage does work very often with the Iron Halo. That is up to you, and that's pretty much all there is for the secondary. Now for the heavy perk tree, I do take the perk Restoration first once again, killing 7 enemies in rapid succession restores one armor segment. The cooldown is 15 seconds. Armor restore on a drift feed in this game is incredible. The column here is not very good anyways, and this is just a top tier perk in the game period, and multi-kill does nothing for us, and auxiliary ammunition is pretty shit, so definitely grab this one. Next perk here, Strategic Stand. While in heavy stance and dealing damage restores 15% more contested health. You do not lose control from heavy hits, and you cannot be knocked back, but you will not be able to move. Now, not being able to move really does not matter on this class at all, because all you have to do to exit heavy stance is hit your aim key like one time, and you can dodge immediately out of that. Now, having 15% more contested health recovery in your heavy stance here does help out the heavy bolter a lot. This is a very substantial increase. It used to be better, but it was like a bit of a bug. Now it's fixed, and it's still pretty good, but not as strong as it used to be before. But having no knockback in the heavy stance here is really what we want, so we're picking this one up today. Now, alternatively, you could pick up Fortitude. You could pick up Thermal Boost, which does give you even more damage on this build, but I think we have enough damage as is, so I'm picking up Strategic Stand. Next perk here is Overwhelming Power. When Iron Halo is active, all team members within 10 meters deal 10% more range damage. This is just a free range damage buff for you and your teammates. Now, an interesting thing here is that Overwhelming Power will simultaneously activate with Brute Force for another 15% range damage increase, because Iron Halo does count as in cooldown while it is active, so you get a total of like a 25% buff on a single Iron Halo activation, so pretty good synergy there. Next perk here is Encompassing Aegis. All team members take 25% less damage from range attacks. This is an amazing team perk. A 25% range damage reduction flat for your entire team makes your entire team substantially tankier. Now, alternatively, you could take additional supplies, because you will occasionally run out of ammo on this gun, but if you don't want to do that, I think Encompassing Aegis is definitely better. Next perk here is Consecutive Execution. Killing 7 enemies in rapid succession restores equipment charged by 1. The cooldown is 90 seconds. A 90-second Melt-A-Bomb will save your life on repeat in this game. Melt-A-Bombs are one of the strongest options for like killing enemies in Space Marine 2, period. And really, any equipment in this game that has a better pickup economy is going to be a substantial buff to you, so definitely pick this up. I think that equipment recharge in the game is just a top-tier effect wherever you can find it, and this one is no different. Next perk here is Power Regulator. Iron Halo loses energy 20% more slowly. Moving here into the perk Brute Force for the damage buff I previously mentioned, and then I pick up the perk here, Offensive Capability. When active, Iron Halo deals damage over time to all enemies within 5 meters. Having a damage over time effect on your Iron Halo will wipe out Spore Mines, wipe out Cultists, it will wipe out really anything you want to deal with, like Bramble as well. And I think this is the overall best option for the Signature perks currently, because it does help you pick up a lot of free executes, it helps you deal free damage to bosses, and it actually overperforms compared to a lot of the other options. And if you want to take Conversion Field, you could. The ability to charge restore for your teammates is quite powerful here, though I would say I would take this in a coordinated team. If I'm playing by myself, I'm definitely taking Offensive Capability. Now, for the Prestige perk options, the only ones I think are mandatory are like Auxiliary Reload for ammo economy, because getting ammunition back on Extremis kill is very strong in this game and honestly helps out your gun a ton. And Conviction is a 25% health damage reduction for 10 seconds on armor break, which will make you substantially more tanky. And without the Fortitude perk here, I think you really need this perk, because damage reduction in Space Marine 2 is very valuable, so definitely grab this one. And the final 2 perks are Indomitable, which is really, you know, a pretty mandatory perk in my opinion as well, because we don't have a ton of no knockback on this class. And then the final one is up to you with Exponential Force, Reverberating Impact, or Duelist. All of these are pretty decent for different reasons. Home Precision is not very good at all, but you know, this is up to you. I would just say the only 3 I would pretty much take all the time is Auxiliary Reload, Conviction, and Indomitable Spirit. And that's pretty much all there is for this build, guys. Hopefully, this gave you a better idea of how you want to build your Heavy Bolter. Now, unfortunately, the Heavy perk tree is in like desperate need of a proper rework, because a lot of these perks just kind of suck. Like the melee or enhanced force here is not very strong for melee damage. Things like Consecutive Execution and Brute Force are just straight up better than a lot of the other options. I mean, Adamant Will is not bad, but these ones are definitely superior, and hopefully they get around to that eventually. But for now, I think this is the best setup for this build, and hopefully this guide helped you. And if you like content like this, subscribe for more. And if you want to come hang out with me live and ask me questions about the game, you can find me here on YouTube or on Twitch with a link in the video description, alongside a link to my community Discord. And as always, guys, thank you for watching. Take it easy. Bye. So this is the maximum damage you can possibly get on a Heavy Bolter here. Now we took it with groups here because in the solo mode, you're going to run out very quickly on this, but with groups, it shouldn't be too bad. They kill things for you. Let's kill this guy. well, that's not long enough range for that. Now, the first portion of this map is pretty much always an ammo drought as well. Oh, I see someone toss their grenades, like artillery there. Very nice. Hey, FTG, do not break the head armor from the biovore. When biovores are planted, you can't shoot their head, and when they stand up, you can. They also take no equipment damage at all while they're planted.
I have transmitted no authorization.
That's it.
This is not an ideal rally point. We must keep moving until the lift arrives. Transport level status. Begins, ceases. Begins, ceases. All parts never run smoothly, but rarely is it this little.
This is the fundamental ammo issue here. Mainly this map. Only this map has like this major issue at the beginning. Unless you get the ammo cache spot in like the interior area over there or right here, you do tend to run out pretty quickly. They take fire damage while planted though, right? Yeah, like they're on fire, yes.
Welcomes you to Longinus Gamma Bio Research Facility. Please do not disturb the lift. It would be a waste. I have no music to play while you descend. Use the silence to...
Yeah, hotfix on Tuesday? That makes sense. Hotfix tomorrow.
Damage servo skull logged into mission report. Viridium, the servo skull is enslaved to an unknown master. I am... Irritant signal silence. Continue to discuss your fate amongst yourselves. It changes nothing. The morose servo skull is not our problem. A suggestion: abandon.
This should be ammunition. Okay.
Against the Magos biologists.
There we go.
Know what Galio and Metrian achieved.
The boxes, or the RNG of boxes in this game is very easy to manipulate. All you really have to do is just be low ammo, and you're probably gonna get ammo, and be low armor, you'll probably get armor. And you have no HP, I gotta assume. I probably should just kill that one off. The melee, get my armor back. Or ammo. Oh yes. That's the beauty of strategic stand. Just tank the range fire, encompassing Aegis for strategic stand. What's he gonna do? Gotta love the Auspex Vulture, don't you?
But our orders stand. Formulating Trigon kill chain tactics. I was worried you had fallen victim to Metrian's mastery of malphonic disruptive frequencies, but now the uncomfortable sensation associated with ripping cools my remaining skin. Be warned, Viridian. Metrian cannot hope to stand against you alone, so she will lie and
ammo, beautiful.
Devour you. Case in point, she has enslaved that servo skull as a crude mouthpiece.
Do you think the hotfix will update tech for customization? Customization? Almost certainly not. In fact, I'm pretty sure this hotfix is going to be like 99% fixing the things they broke in the last hotfix. Maybe we'll get like one more buff, like 1 or 2 more buffs to some perks, and that's it. And then we probably won't get anything until patch 13. I don't think they've ever done more than like one hotfix in this game. But right now, the decapitating stratagem perk is broken, so they probably want to fix that.
Melter charge source, brothers.
Did you say 6 heroics next patch? I mean, I think there's going to be. I don't remember. I don't know if they confirmed.
Doorway sealed. Infestation slow.
That was gonna be a power axe next time. First that was leaked.
Melted storage
Tunnel collapsed.
The first 2 to 3 patches delivered 6 heroics per patch, as most of us were hoping it's gonna stay that way. Let's see. They might save some of the heroics for like year 3 maybe. But 6 of them, I think they want to get through all the weapons before the roadmap's over. They said they were not going to release the ones we got, like the Omniscient Axe heroic we got, the heroic heavy bolt rifle, and the heroic combat knife Argent Edge. None of those were intended to be like the biggest, you know.
If you missed our binaric discourses, you could have
I should say they weren't supposed to be in this patch.
I observe you still pathetically cling to fields of soft tissue. Remember, meat lacks efficiency, whereas metallic alloys stave off corrosion and degradation for far longer.
How far you have that I
There's basically no drip on tech, yeah. I'd say the biggest thing I want in tech room right now is Death Watch cosmetics. The Death Watch cosmetics.
There is no going back. Avenging angel.
Behold the truth of my faults. I am but a humble grain,
Oh dear.
hatched into a mining facility, and nothing more. What reason exists to pull me from recording biomass coalescence data firsthand? I pose no threat to Galio or the Imperium, even if I should fall.
disconnect her synaptic tethers from the facility command terminals. Stand firm. I expect her to route Xenos to assault your locus. Secure that console outlet. Commencing signal disruption.
You came because the Emperor stayed for first year cardsman? I don't. Where the hell's the Emperor in this game, brother? Pretty sure he's on Terra, and this is not that. How much influence do you have over Saber? Let me see. None.
Slit this console's connection to the
How many Saber employees have I talked with personally? 0. Maybe they listen to some feedback sometimes, but I have no way to actually verify that. Voice lines in, voice lines out.
source of power cells so we can restore visibility.
They did add the jump pack dash animation cancel. I was asking for that for quite a while in some videos, but I'm also sure people on the forums on Focus were also asking for that. At least one person would, I'm sure.
As my theorems predicted, your life vector has converged with renegade factors and Zeta 6. was a waste of computational.
Do you think them not adding in drip on the tech room is intentional to pull players back to the game on later patches? Because the reason they gave for lack of drip was time constraints. Well, it probably was time constraints in that they had a patch to get out. And they're already behind schedule on this one, it seems, because quarter 1 is getting an updated roadmap. They also have, I mean, the reality is probably they have zero incentive to add in tech ring with extra cosmetics because it's a free DLC class. In fact, the monetization scheme of this game is quite strange in that every other game I can think of would charge for a new class. Like Dark Tide will do that. Dark Tide also has a way more egregious cosmetic store than this one.
See, Mitchell, the more you thrash, the deeper you set our hopes. These tender claws of Astartes' flesh have accomplished nothing, Galio. My imaginations are already achieving my designs. You are fools, peasants. Science, Mitrian. Meridian, confirm possession of her quivering mass of computational gray matter.
Have I beaten the hard weekly already? Yeah. Any tips? I have a whole video on that. If you're curious. For the weekly. I would say right here, the TLDR would be take Power Fist with like Bulwark, build Tank on Bulwark, or take Power Fist with Assault and build Jump Pack Dash on Assault with Overcharge on both. And you'll probably kill them eventually. Ahaha. Wow, that definitely didn't hurt at all. Did that guy just use the ground slam on the Power Fist? I haven't seen that since launch. No, it wasn't. It was a thrust jab. Okay. Never mind. Sorry, I was seeing something. How was my collab with Bricky? I think it went really well. Super fun to hang out. He's a very chill guy. Very much into the tabletop of 40k for a long ass time.
Muster at my location.
It is very strange. You get a lot for $60. Yeah, Space Marine 2's like it kind of goes to show. I said this in my video on like the state of the game that Space Marine 2 is like 100% propped up by the 40k audience in the sense that I can't think of many games that would be able of this size that would be able to sell enough DLC cosmetic content to like fund every update. But 40k fans will absolutely just throw out cash at a game for cosmetic DLC packs. That's really what most of 40k is. The 40k drip is unmatched, so it's worth the money. Maybe not the voice pack DLC, but yeah. The drip overall, I think, is pretty good in this game. Definitely gotten way better over time. Take that one. 40k is dressed up with lore. Yeah, pretty much. Let's kill this guy. Oh, yes. Oh, he's fucked. Oh, never mind. I guess he jumped back into the Auspex, right?
Target lock on its vulnerabilities. The Xenos erupt from a new shaft. Ready melterometers.
He just could not make his choice up, huh? He could not decide to go for. Well, now he dies. You say you don't even know the price of the drip DLCs? You just buy it because you need it? For real. Why is he firepower heavy bolter? That's still the most damaging one. You can build it for like a little bit more damage if you go all the way down. No, if you take the thermal boost perk, but I'd rather just have strategic stand. I think it's like a little redundant. Oh, unnecessary in damage. That's how the Trigon was cheating. You removed the stun. Yeah, I saw that.